Hey guys, this is Nyang Yil from Advanced Property Strategies, and really excited to be here with you today on my Facebook Live. It's Wednesday, 12 o'clock on the 8th of April. So yeah, hope you're having a great week so far. I feel like I've come out at the other end. I know that we're definitely not through the other end of the pandemic, but I feel, the last 3 weeks of doom and gloom, we are feeling some more relief emotionally anyway. So look, I'm really excited to be sharing with you what I've got in store for you, talking about why I'm certain that there's going to be bargains coming up. I'm sure some of you probably get a sense of that as well. What kind of opportunities will be available during the COVID-19 crisis? What development strategies will work over the next 6 to 12 months? And why, the media, they're not really focused on making money, right? Why 90% of the media has no clue where things are going. So, why am I qualified to be talking about property and making money through property through these times? Well, you know what? In 2008 and 2009, I was working on a 20-lot subdivision and it went south and I was still able to make money. So the principles that I've learned through that, a lot of the strategies, or all of the strategies that I teach through my courses, through my mentoring programs, through my online courses, are grown and created from tough times, right? From tough times. So, I'm really proud to say that a lot of my clients who've applied these principles over the last years, if you keep at it, they're going to be making good money long term, because that's what the game is about. It's about making money long term, not just short term in good times and not in not so good times as well. So I do believe in the next 3, 6, 12 months, there's going to be some opportunities coming up. For those of you who are, a bit overexposed, a bit stretched financially, I'm sure you're going to be concerned about that. And we're going to be talking about where the deals are right now and how you can take advantage of them, right? So I'm just going to get through my notes here look, today's section is going to be about what you can be doing right now. In the last 2 videos, I talked about 1, where I think the market's going, 2, what I'm doing right now. So it's a bit of a summary about what I'm doing right now. I've got 2 key projects that I'm working on. One is a 30-lot subdivision. So in summary there, what I'm personally doing is I'm doing a stock take sale. And that's a big part of my life, my energy. Right now I'm spending probably 2 to 4 hours a day, every day, just sorting that out. When I say sorting that out, finalising the project. We are doing stage 1 at this point. The civils are roughly halfway through. They're due to finish in about 6 to 8 weeks, which is really exciting. It means by middle of the year, just after June 30, we can be getting titles. And with the sales that we've got a couple of sales so far, that we can be getting paid. So we're in a process of finishing that project. That's stage 1. Stage 2 will roll out soon thereafter, assuming we've got enough sales in stage 1. And then I've got a childcare centre in Melbourne I'm getting approvals for. And then another project that I may have mentioned is a mini boarding house that I'm going to be starting construction soon. So really what I'm doing is I'm looking at finishing projects that I've got. Those have been in the pipeline for the last 6 to 12 months. Anyway, so I'm really about completing that. I am on the lookout probably in the next 90 days, once I've got some progress on stage 1 there in the land subdivision, to be purchase something soon and doing some of the things I'll be talking to you about today. So so that's just giving you an update on just a summary for some of a couple of recent videos that I've done about what I'm doing. In terms of what the market is going to do, I did cover that about a week ago, 3 or 4 days ago, about things like, yes, the market may decline or probably will decline. It's in correction right now, with limited auctions and open for inspections. However, due to the fundamentals, my belief, and it could be 3, 6, 12 months time, is the market will regain based on the fundamentals, right? So having said that, let's get into today's video and today's Facebook Live about what you could be doing right now, what you should be doing in these market of opportunities. So I know for those who are employed and you're not concerned about necessarily, the cash flow, you maybe not. I think, you've got to be pulling yourself out and looking at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is where it's at, because this will not go on forever. Just like the GFC, just like September 11, things will pass. We talk about the seasons, right? There's a season to sow, there's a season to reap, but you don't do both in the same season. If you look at the seasons of autumn, winter, spring, summer, right, you could say that we are going into a quick winter, and it could be for a few months, several months. With all the bailouts, I think that the opportunities will come into spring at some time soon. So anyway, I'll break it down into a handful of points. My first point being is get deal ready. right? Get deal ready. I know some of the people have commented on what they're going to be doing is get deal ready. Get your house in order, right? Get pre-approved. So getting your house in order could be selling unwanted items. You might have a spare car, spare fridge, a spare PlayStation or something like that, spare fishing rods, spare clothes. Just get rid of it. If you're not selling it, just clear out your cupboards and create space. Create space. One of my clients, Alan, I was talking to him about create space in your portfolio so that you can get new deals into the door, because he's got a property that he bought, let's say, January, February, and he's not getting the price that he wants. He's still going to be very, very profitable if he sells it at a discount. But I'm saying, mate, clear the decks so that you can get into the next round of deals at the new reset market price, right? Because that's what it is. It's the market adjusting, and you really want to get into the marketplace at the new prices that you've got currently. So get your house in order, get pre-approved. What that means is if you're looking to buy potentially in the next 6 to 12 months, get refinanced, right? Get your equity available. You might be able to fix in some really cheap rates. They're talking about 3% or more. So 3% or less for 3 to 5 years fixed rates, which is great. That's just such cheap money. Maybe eliminate frivolous expenses. I know a lot of us, unfortunately, can't go out as much as we'd like to restaurants because everything's shut down. But, you're going to be looking at what frivolous expenses have you got on your credit card recurring that are just not adding value to your life, right? Adding value to your life. So, like I said, refinance, get some better interest rates, talk to the bank, see what they can do. Maybe you've got a credit card that you can reduce the interest rate from 20% to maybe 15%, right? That's a significant saving. Go to war on your expenses, like go to look at, what recurring expenses you have. Maybe ring your insurer and look at a handful of different opportunities to reduce your insurance on your investment properties, right? So just do a handful of things to be able to go and reduce your expenses there. So next one is get cashed up for bargains, right? Get cashed up for bargains. So if you've got property already that you're considering selling, maybe put them on the market sooner rather than later, and just test the market. There's nothing wrong with testing the market and see what feedback you are getting, right? Get cashed up, get liquid, right? And like I said before, it's part of getting deal ready, understanding the market and getting things going. So further on from that is, then this is what I've been very proactively doing, is reduce your attention to media, TV and social media. I feel like, the last 2 to 3 weeks, especially, we've kind of been blindsided by the amount of media that's come through the door, that's captured our attention, and we feel like the need and the desperation to keep on top of things. And don't get me wrong, it's important to keep abreast of the current happenings and occurrences and updates, but I do believe that there's not much more they can do other than completely lock us down and send the army to keep us in our houses, right? So I think all the shock factor has definitely gone. So I'd be reducing the attention to media. I'm sick and tired of all the updates and things like that. It doesn't matter if we hear it 1 to 2 to 3 days later in a condensed form. Yes, some of the commercial property stuff may be relevant to you because you are a landlord or a tenant, but a lot of the other stuff has been pretty much resolved from a legal point of view or a information point of view. So yeah, social media, I can see that a lot more people are showing the positive side of life and things that we can laugh about and look forward to, like going to the beach or going and having a drink at the pub with our mates. But yeah, just be mindful that the negativity out there will probably, well, just like it has for myself, cause you to have some negative experience or feeling down when you shouldn't be, right? So I know a lot of businesses just over the last 2 to 3 weeks being shut down have experienced, okay, let's just take the time off. It's a forced holiday, even if you can't go interstate or overseas necessarily. Maybe you can't even go to the beach, but it's a forced holiday for you to plan, strategize, and reinvent your business, maybe. It's always about reinvention. That's one thing in the GFC that I learned, is that you got to learn how to reinvent yourself, and reinvent yourself very, very quickly over the last few years. I'd say every 6 to 9 months, I've had to reinvent myself due to changes in the marketplace, due to changes in the business place. You just got to be proactive with change, not be a victim of change. Okay, so the next thing I'd say is get educated, right? Get educated on your suburbs and get educated on your strategy. So this is a really good way, good opportunity to become an area expert. I often talk about choosing 3 suburbs that are close to each other and determining your strategy, right? Determine your strategy. Is it buy, reno, sell? Is it buy with a free block of land and build some townhouses at the back? Is it buy and build some villas, some apartments, caravan park? What is it, right? So you really, want to use this time to become an area expert, And I know for some of you who haven't really been in the marketplace up till now, or just looking, you really want to be focusing on your local area. And it's a good time to be building a relationship with agents as well, because they're really looking forward to your phone call. Previously, sometimes when the market's hot, people, the agents get a bit busy, they get a bit arrogant, they think that, they're in charge. But here, as we've all been humbled, right? So agents are really open to having a chat to you. I was actually in a car dealership yesterday. I'm looking at changing my car. It was a Merc dealership. And I love Mercs, as you guys know. But I went for a test drive in a mid-size SUV. And it's just a little, we've got an SUV at the moment, Merc, in the carport there. However, I just wanted a second one to replace one of the cars that we've got. And my point is that, the whole dealership was empty other than two salespeople. And I went for a test drive, and, I'd seen this salesperson before. Her name was Maria, and previously wasn't very friendly, you could say. If she sees this video, she's not going to be happy. But I'd call her the Ice Queen. But my point is that, very, very friendly this time, keen to do a deal. I actually didn't like the car, which was unfortunate for me and unfortunate for her, because I think the car was a really, really good price. But just like agents, salespeople, they're really hungry to do business, right? It doesn't mean you have to buy anything through the agent. Just build that relationship, and you're wanting to create that database. So come back is get educated. Look for what is there selling right now in the current marketplace. I know some of you got Price Finder. I know some of you got RP data and those sources of data, but you're really wanting to look at what's selling today in the current pricing, because it may stay the same. It may very well drop by 5, 10, 15%. We don't know. But just watch that trail, see what properties are on the market for, and look for sales rates over the next 60, 90, 180 days on turnover rates. Is it a 30-day turnaround? Is it 60-day days on market? What are the days on market? And these are fundamental things I know some of you are doing already, but you're wanting to look for indicators. Because when you see the days on market, let's say it goes from 30 to 60, the market's slowing down and prices may be dropping, right? And if they go from 60 to 90 to 180, that will be continuation of the downward trend. However, you'll see them go from 120 to 90 to 60 to 30. That's where you're knowing that the market's in an upward trend. And those are just the indicators on feeling the marketplace, seeing what's moving, seeing what's not moving, and potentially looking for bargain. So get educated. So further on from getting educated is, get information from guys like myself, people like myself who are in the marketplace, who are doing deals, who are abreast of the situation and know what's going on. So get yourself educated on your strategy. Is it renovations? Is it buying discounted deals? Is it land subdivision? Is it development? Get yourself educated so you know what to look for. This is a really good time to educate yourself, let's say through podcasts and online courses that you may be either looking to do or involved in already, so that when you're looking for opportunities, because otherwise if you're not activated on what those opportunities are, you will find that other people will snap them up and you go, you know what, I should have bought that. But you got to get that area expertise, identify those suburbs, determine your strategy, study that data, because those numbers will give you the information, right? So further on from talking to agents and creating databases, right? You want to be creating databases of email addresses, phone numbers, because some agents will still stick around in this time because they'll see the positive light at the end of the tunnel. Otherwise, some of them will leave. The ones that leave, you really want to catch them a week or two before they leave if you can. I know it's hard to determine that, but you really want to catch them before they leave, because they might just spill some beans on, this person's about to sell, there's a bargain there, this person's about to get divorced, right? Looking for those motivated sellers, right? We talk about the 4 Ds, yeah? So I'm just going to refer to my notes. Apologize for that. So I'm definitely certain that the bargains are coming. You've seen the clearance rates because there's no auctions anymore. Sydney and Melbourne specifically have reduced the amount of, eliminated the amount of auctions that they have, so they're going to private treaty, which is a completely different methodology of how they're used to selling. Therefore, it'll take them a while to do that. Brisbane, on the other hand, private treaty is quite normal to do that. The thing with private treaty, it's still subject to finance, subject to building and pest in Victoria and Brisbane anyway. Melbourne and Victoria and Brisbane. So what else? So how to buy these things is definitely looking for motivated sellers, right? Definitely looking for motivated sellers. And if you're not cashed up yourself, definitely be talking to investors. That's what we teach in our course through our workshops, is how to get investors. So I'd still be talking to your investors if you've got a list already, keeping them up to date on what your thoughts are, what your plans are. And yes, let's say you might have 10 investors on your list. Maybe 5 of them are scared, might be 5 of them are conservative and they've opted out of the market. You will have the other 3 to 5 that will still be very, very keen, and they will be bargain hunters, right? So their percentage rates might be higher, or their security requirements might be higher. They might want a JV. They may not want to lend you the money anymore at 10%. They may want a profit share on the project and own the property because they want a controlling stake. So my point is that the market for investors will have definitely changed, and therefore you really just got to manage them, keep in touch with them, keep them upbeat, and keep them posted on what your intentions are, right? So further on from that, what are the strategies that will work over the next 6 to 12 months? Look, I think the conservative ones will definitely work. The strategies we talk about in our courses are the free blocks of land, keep the existing house, subdivide off the backyard, or the cosmetic buy, reno, sell, right? The cosmetic buy, reno, sell, cosmetic buy, reno, hold. Those principles will hold true. So just a couple more points before I wrap up. Thanks for the questions there. I'll come back to them in a second. Definitely, look, the media is not focused on what the property market is doing right now, which is a blessing. If it were to go hammer and tongs about the property market and what's happening and decline of sales, etc., it would make and exacerbate the problem that's going ahead. So it's going instead after places like Ruby Princess and causes of the coronavirus. I think it's just licking its wounds in the marketplace of figuring out whose fault it is and who's going to pay for it, etc., as opposed to the mere old property marketplace, which is good because it allows us as property investors to do what we do best, which is keep on transacting, looking for bargains. And I know some of you might feel like a bit opportunistic in this instance for these bargains that are coming up. Having said that, and I've said to this to my clients, is that doing these type of deals provides certainty for sellers, right? Provides certainty for sellers. I've got a client who just in the last 1 or 2 business days, I think on Friday actually, she went unconditional on a deal. She signed the contract initially at $1.05 million. I think it was for 5,000 square meters. She did a fair bit of due diligence. I helped her sort out a few things, and she went out and asked for a significant discount. So she ended up, I think, getting a $120,000 discount. The owner was 93 years old, had been under contract for a month or so, and she had demonstrated to him that the project cost a lot more than what she'd anticipated, and therefore it was going to cost her a lot more, and the risk of the coronavirus affecting end sales as well. Long story short, she was able to get an extra, $120,000 discount on that deal. So that, it provides certainty for that gentleman and their family to move on, take that $930K and move on. Yeah, so very good, guys. So thanks for that. If you've got any questions, please type that in. Hopefully you've gotten some value out of that so far. Today, I'm just going to recover just in summary is definitely get deal ready, get cashed up, get your house in order, pre-approved. Get cashed up for bargains, reduce your attention to media, TV and social media. Definitely talk to agents, get educated, get your expertise up for the area expert, know your suburbs, know your values, determine your strategy, create that database and get educated from a information point of view so that you know what's going on as well. So excellent, guys. Look, thanks so much for your time. I'll just have a look at some of these questions now and either answer them verbally or just type in responses. So for those of you who are watching this post-production, post-live, definitely type in your questions over the next couple of days. I'll answer whatever questions I can and get geared up for next week. I've got some cool topics that I'm working on at the moment for the next round of Survive the Crisis, how to profit through volatile times. So have a great day, guys, and talk to you soon.